everyone, it's me, Mia, and welcome back to Faith's Blurify blog. As you can tell by my crazy voice, you can see why I didn't do any videos or posts for this past week, which I was really looking forward to doing, but I was in so much pain on Friday, so I just had to rest the entire weekend. I'm still getting better. Like, I'm coughing it up, but I'm still trying to get my voice back to where it was before. And yes, I did go into work, and you're probably wondering, why did you do that? Because one, I just started this job, and it would be my third week going in. And two, a thing that I learned when I was interviewing to go into childcare is that childcare is really they don't really pay well when you're entering in. But the thing for me is that I'm not really focusing on pay, even though I am very thankful for the rate that I'm getting. I'm more focused on getting experience of developing as a childcare worker. So, but don't worry, I'm wearing a mask. I am, taking as much tea as I can. I had medicine, or I should be getting more medicine, but it's coming up. That's the biggest thing. I won't sound like this forever. I kind of hate it. Like, I can't really talk to my kids as well as I want to, but it's working. It's a process. It's going to be cleared up soon. I'll tell you that. So I do want to be able to at least give you a rundown of some of the things that happened, as well as some of the things that I learned or acquired during the second week. So here we go. So as you can tell from my voice, like, most likely I caught something around at the school, because there was another, my coworker, she was recovering from something as well. So it is understandable that, I'm pretty sure you already know that I don't really believe that children are inherently bad, but I don't think that I would argue with anyone if they have said that children are petri dishes. Like, I believe that, kids, they runny noses, tears, their hands are going to be in some kind of dirt or somewhere. They might drool on their hand, they might drool on something and then give it to you. So you can be like, oh, that's nice, and then put it down, wash hands, get hand sanitizer, just be prepared. And apparently I got caught slipping. And as you can tell, I'm a little disheveled right now, but this is just a quick update, so I just wanted to put that out there. And so for my notes, I just want to let you know that a couple of things that happened. Here we go. So there was actually an emergency evacuation, surprisingly. Yeah, my second week working, emergency evacuation. Luckily, my kids were already outside. There was another class that was already outside. We thought it was a fire drill when the bell was going off, but then it turned out, people were leaving, and then we see the fire chief's van. So it was like, oh goodness, this is a real thing. We were away from the building as far as we can, and of course the kids got excited when they saw an actual fire truck pass by. And thankfully, the emergency didn't really last as long. I think it was like a fire in a pot in the kitchen, and so we were just out there for maybe at the most 30 minutes. Then there was also picture day, which was fun. All the kids were wearing their awesome looking outfits. I had a student who had a matching outfit with his little sister, who was also also a kid that was in the younger classes. So that was cute to see. And of course, we had to have him leave because he got distracted. He actually ran into the background of another kid's picture. I'm going to tell you more about him. He's a really interesting one. So a couple things I picked up is that there are room resources and binders in order to keep track of kids' allergies. I do have, I think, maybe two students. One of them have a severe milk allergy, so I had to be able to know where her EpiPen was, and luckily we was able to find it. It was a big issue. Of course I would be very mindful not to, do something to activate a child's allergy, but mistakes happen. So it was good that we were able to find her, their medication if need. I'm sorry, I'm going to be revealing genders. Didn't mean to do it, but that's part of it. So she had a serious dairy allergy, so we were glad we was able to find her EpiPen. So I had another child who was someone who was really good at listening. He was very, able to keep up a little bit more of my directions than the other kids were. He was able to listen. He wasn't as standoffish, but he did have a day that it just seemed off. Like, it was the first time that he didn't want to do anything. He would yell and no if other kids were kind of like being, start turning stuff around. He would do it anyway. He had a habit of putting things in my mouth. I may have caught it from him. I could be wrong. But, he had a habit of putting things, which I had never seen him do up until that point. So it was just kind of strange having difficulties with that one student. So I do have two kids in my class. One of them I mentioned was the one with the little sister, and then another who I will not use any disparaging names, but if you hear me say either the dynamic duo or the Wonder Twins, you'll know who I'm talking about, because these are two kids who seem to be who combine their powers to activate to cause as much trouble and distraction for the rest of the kids as possible. I have nothing against them. I understand that they're very, very young, and I'm still kind of new, but it's just hard to try to get some time direction and kind of rein on the classroom when kids don't want to just listen. They go into the no's and the why's, or they start learning how to push furniture in order to reach cubbies. Like that's still something that boggles my mind. I'm like, I need to move these furniture around a little bit more, but just keep track of that. So I started incorporating a timeout chair, or like a cool down couch inside my classroom. And it just started out a little bit kind of shaky, but right now, I mean, I'm using it a little bit more, and it has helped. I think that is something that's going to incorporate and actually work a little bit more as the days goes on. And music really helped. I introduced a cleanup song, and I do have a couple kids who are, automatically jump to cleaning up as soon as they hear the music. I'm hoping that it works out with the rest of the kids. I know that music helps greatly. You're probably going to keep hearing me say how much music helps. So, but it's just something that I want to be able to find, like, the right songs to be able to, help me in my class a little bit more. I know that it will be helping and reining my kids in. And and of course, I still had huge trouble transition from the outdoor play to lunch. During that time, the kids are coming in, they're still energetic. I have tried, like, using like a little fun activity, putting a toy in on the table, but of course they're gonna get bored of that. Or one of my little friends, one half of one of the twins, he likes to take crayons and start scribbling all over the wall. And crayons is not as easy to get off the wall as you think they are. So, I was just like, ugh. I need to think of something a little bit more resourceful. And luckily, I do have the resources. So I know I'm going to be able to develop that a little bit more as time goes on. But like I said, I was recommended a table activity to calm the kids down. I just need to find the right activity that will work to keep kids from wandering off, pulling baskets, turning them over, and just pulling toys everywhere, this way and that. I want to try to keep I know that they say that a kid's room isn't completely neat, but I want to try to keep it as orderly as possible. Like my toys are mixed up, and I have to organize, my toys. So there was a heat advisory during the week, and so it's super hot in the afternoons, meaning that, of course, we need to keep the kids inside for their safety. In the afternoon, it was like having to come up with new activities, which is something that kind of had to work out. The kids are always so fascinated with water, so I tried creating a bin that had glittery sudsy water to see if that helps instead of them keep running over to the child level sink every single time. And it worked, but they started using toys that weren't water appropriate. So that was a note to self. I need to find toys that are water appropriate, or use bubble wands. Yeah, I can use bubble wands. That's a good idea. I have to do that the next time. Also, I got to use the art room. Like, a lot of my kids really enjoyed cutting paper, coloring. I mentioned the crayons, paints. So I thought I'd bring them in and introduce them to stamps. And I think that they had a lot of fun with stamps. And also, like, I think that I started doing is that in the afternoon when my class either gets dwindled or they balance out the ratio, I am taking in the 1-year-olds. So I need to come up with a brand new strategy in order to be able to let the 1-year-olds listen a little bit better to me, because I do have a few of them. If I say not to do something, they're still going to do it anyway. I have an interesting story for this week. For week 3, regarding a child that I had to remind over again, don't do that. I'll tell you that in the next time. And then, of course, my child, like, I think I'm going to be very sensitive with this, because, you know, I don't know how people are going to respond to it, but one half of the Wonder twins that I've been telling you about throughout this entire video, he is considered on the spectrum. I know a lot of people might think it might be a little young to be diagnosed, but that's what they've told me. So, you know, this child, you know, he's on the spectrum. He's usually the last one to be picked up. So, you know, and his mom had also had let me know that he is going through sessions, you know, speech sessions, and she's been wanting me to help him to wean off of using a pacifier. I like to call it a binky, but it's a pacifier. And, you know, try to get him to do that. Like, not to just straight up take it away from him, but just maybe if he's not paying attention, I could just grab it and he won't even notice. Which it actually does work. Like, you know, as soon as he's going to get extremely upset. And, you know, like, I know that he probably will feel uncomfortable with it, but I want to be in a way be able to help him. And I also was able to find a little sim toy for him to play with, a sim popper. And I'm thinking of probably asking if there's a possibility if I could get a few more into my classroom just for fun, not just for him, but for everyone, just for fun. And of course, I'm going to sum up all my notes by saying that on the last day of the week, before the 3-day weekend, I was in an intense amount of pain. I could barely write any notes. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I started writing notes in order to keep track of this. That's what's able to give you all this information. So I'll show you my notebook next time. I'm just doing this really quick just to post. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for still sticking with me. And I hope that you guys really enjoy my videos. I'm going to do a little bit more. Next time I'll be a little bit more, a little more mindful, a little more considerate. So thank you guys so much. Hope you have a good weekend. Be sure to follow me on social media. I'm going to put like a link within this video so you can follow me on all my social medias to see what I've been doing and to keep up with me. I really want to be able to put out my post, but I'm going to be going up on another very busy weekend, a very important weekend in my life. So I'm probably going to be doing just another one video update once again. So you guys, I hope you have a good night. I hope you have a good weekend, and remember to stay blessed and learnerful. Bye.